Hey DIYers, Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. Today we are talking water heaters, and we are going to show you the difference between a standard water heater and a tankless water heater. Let's get started. Our YouTuber's downstairs in the utility room, and there it is. That is our water heater. It is an A.O. Smith Pro Max. This is a 50-gallon tank. And it's from 2004 and is ready to be replaced. It has finally failed. We have relit the pilot light several times and she just finally gave way yesterday, and now it's time to install a brand new water heater. However, in this video, what I want to talk about is the differences of a standard or traditional water heater as shown here compared to a tankless water heater that we are having installed here in a few hours. So with that said, let's talk about what's in front of us, the standard or traditional water heater. And the way this works is ours is natural gas. You may have an electric tank or a propane tank. And to check, you can look right down on that placard there. It will tell you the capacity, it will tell you the build year that it was manufactured, and it will also tell you whether it's electric, natural gas, or propane. However, again, ours is natural gas, and what this tank does is all day long it heats water, and in the event that you leave the house 7 or 8 in the morning and you're gone for 8 to 10 hours, whether it's work or something else, guess what? All that water inside this tank is being heated the entire day you are not here. And in the event that you're gone for 8 to 10 hours, guess what? You're not using any water. So this water heater is going to heat the water up to a preset temperature, and then it's going to turn off, and then just like a cup of coffee that's sitting out without drinking it, it's going to cool off. And once it gets below that preset temperature, guess what? Your water heater turns back on, uses more electricity, uses more gas or propane, depending on which kind of tank you have, and it heats the exact same water that it just heated before. And unfortunately, it's going to do this all day long when you're not home using water. And even worse, the entire time you're sleeping at night, not using water, it's doing the exact same thing. It's heating water up to the preset temperature and then turning off and then turning back on once it drops below that preset temperature, costing you electricity and gas or propane. And again, the same water it just previously heated up. So these traditional or standard tanks, they do cost you more money. However, to purchase them and have them installed, they are a little cheaper than a tankless water heater. So on the left hand side, you've got a gas line that goes all the way up, and you've got 2 water lines, as you can see here with the copper pipes. You have an exhaust, and our exhaust actually ducts up and over and into our furnace exhaust. As you can see right there, that is our bright furnace. It goes up, and let me grab a flashlight here. It goes up through the ceiling and out. And with the tankless water heater that we're having installed in here in a few hours, they will actually cap this exhaust duct off, and the tankless water heater will be a standalone exhaust system which will duct up, and they will drill a hole on the side of the house through the brick and mortar. And what I will do is I will show you the general area I believe they will be drilling. Moving on to the 2 copper water lines, those are still good. They say they are going to leave those. However, we are getting a 199,000 BTU tankless water heater, and that gas line right there unfortunately is too small for that unit. That will have to be updated. So they are going to install a brand new gas line. They will have to add an additional circuit for the tankless water heater, as well as a standalone plug or outlet, keeping it separate from any other outlet. And the heater we are having installed is a 110 system, so we won't have to do anything outrageously different with our control panel for that system, which is really cool. And as far as this drain line right here, this one will be gone. However, the tankless water heater will have a drain line, and hopefully they will route it in a much more organized and friendly manner along the wall and then over to the drain point. And we are really excited about the brand new tankless water heater because we are going to save money, and tankless water heaters don't leak all over the floor like your standard or traditional tanks do. And unfortunately, this water heater malfunctioned months ago and caused a serious leak, and it left a pretty good scorched residue there. What happens is it has a pressure gauge here, and if the tank itself exceeds that pressure, this little pressure valve pops open, and if you don't have it properly vented, to a drain point, guess what? Your water's going all over. And unfortunately, in our case, that's what happened. This drain tube was not there previously, and it caused a serious leak, and I'll show you the drywall. Here's the opposite side of the utility room, and again, it caused some damage, and it cost us some money. Back in the utility room, and what I want to do now is I want to go outside and show you where I believe they are going to drill a hole in the side of the house. And these little windows here are the windows that are downstairs in the basement. So I believe that they are going to exhaust somewhere over here, possibly on this side right here. And I could be wrong, but what I will do is I will show you where they do it after they do it. All right, YouTubers, the project is complete. And believe it or not, I've got my hot water running right now, and that's all the sound it makes. I'll try to get the camera closer so you can hear it. You can hear the water flowing. And I am just completely shocked at how quiet this brand new tankless water heater is. Our previous house, we had a tankless water heater, and it was so loud. So you've got your intake, which is right there, and that goes outside and that actually curls and makes a downward angle toward the ground. I will show you that here shortly. This is the exhaust, it just goes straight out. And they had to drill through the brick and mortar to set these intake and exhaust pipes. And as you can see, it goes in the top portion of the water heater. And you get your red hot water supply, and then the cold blue water supply. And then this is a very similar pressure release valve that our standard traditional tank had. And that goes down to the bottom portion here and just rests a few inches off the ground. Now what I will do is get a pan to set under there and catch any water in the event that this exceeds its preset temperature or pressure. It's going to release a little bit of water. Now here is my favorite part about this. In the unlikely or odd chance that that does happen, all the water that's going to come out of this line is nowhere near the amount of water that would have came out of our standard or traditional tank. Again, our previous tank was a 50-gallon tank. Real quick, back up to the top portion. You've got your cold water shutoff valve there, and they tied the PVC pipes into our existing copper pipes. Remember how it came and connected right there into the exhaust ducting for our furnace? And I mentioned they were going to cap that off. That's what they did, because again, the exhaust goes up and straight out. And up to the gas line, they installed an adjustable gas line, which is nice, and was very easy for them to reroute and keep organized along the wall into its shutoff point, and then down below into the hard mounted pipe, as you can see there. A few additional valves, as you can see, a couple shutoff valves here, a couple shutoff valves on the cold water supply. And as I mentioned, this brand new tankless water heater has its very own brand new outlet or switch. They conveniently rerouted that into the side of our box. Let me open this up, and they installed a brand new 20 amp on number 33 and labeled it W heater. As you remember, that gigantic 50-gallon tank, it took up a lot of space. Well, look at that. We've got a lot more room. And again, what I'll do is insert a pan down below in the unlikely and odd chance that that exceeds its pressure and releases water. And if you remember correctly, we had a long pipe extending all the way to the drain point. Well, look what they did. The water line comes down, makes a bend just shy of touching the floor, goes all the way to the concrete wall, and they routed it in a much more organized and clean manner, as you can see here, to the drain point, which is awesome. So what I want to do now is take you outside and show you the opposite side. And the inlet, as I mentioned, comes out of the brick and makes a downward angle toward the ground. And that is your straight exhaust pipe. And right now, there's a little bit of warm air coming out of it because I've got the hot water inside turned on. And what the crew did is they cemented both pipes to create that seal. So again, that's what the exterior portion looks like. All right, YouTubers, back inside and down in the utility room, and it is set to 120 degrees. So from 120, it would go down to 115. However, we've got the set max at 120. So in the event that we want it higher than that, we would have to open up the cover plate and reprogram it to be able to go above 120. But 120 is perfect for us. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Do us a favor, YouTubers. Below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. Once you do that, every video that we upload, you will be notified. You will be able to stay up to date with us, and that will be awesome. Thanks again for watching. And it looks like it's back on. And again, it is very quiet. Our previous house, as I mentioned, was loud. And real quick, one last thing. We took several pictures as they were working through this project. And what we will do is post a link above. So definitely check out that video. It is going to show you all of our step-by-step photos. You may find that very cool and very helpful.